is I'm hearing that they're going to try and force Fletcher into 6, Brown into 7, Sandon Smith into 9. What I'm shocked beyond belief with is that after all of this talk about their spine, they still technically don't have an out-and-out 7 at their club. And I just can't get that for the life of me. Listen, I think Fletcher Sharpe is a 10-year player in the NRL. I think he's an absolute gun. Like, he's been one of their better players, especially the last 12 months. Was he so good that you're going to make this forced spine where it's basically Brown's playing out of position, Sanders Smith's playing out of position, Sharpe, I think he's playing out of position. I think he's more of a fullback. Like, 3 out of the 4 of your spine are essentially playing their second best position to accommodate a young guy that was good last year. He's not Nathan Cleary level or anything like that yet. Why not just put him out on the wing for the year? Kalen Ponga, most like, and I don't want this to happen, but he could, there's a good likelihood he gets injured this year. Fletcher Sharpe goes back to fullback. Your spine doesn't change then. You get to build that spine for the whole year.
Not only are you accommodating it for one guy, in my opinion, you're accommodating it for that one guy to play his third best position. Like, tell me he's not a better fullback, Fletcher Sharpe, than
He's definitely a better fullback than 5'8".
Winger?
I think he's a bloody good
In
winger.
5 years' time, he's playing Origin. You think it's more likely it's on the wing or at 5'8"?
That's a good point.
He was outstanding at 6 last year.
I thought it's like a little bit like the Purdue situation. Now, don't get me wrong, he did better in the halves than Purdue in the halves. I just think that, like, right now, with where the team's at in experience and where they're going to probably finish on the ladder, like, you're better off slowly easing him into the fullback 6 position.
Now, I've got him on the wing as well, because of the nature of their signings. But yeah, I think he's an out-and-out fullback / 5'8".
Who's a better 6, him or Brown?
Right now, Brown.
Yeah, but I think Brown by quite a bit at this stage.
Sure.
And so I just don't know why. I just don't know why you'd move Brown to 7 to accommodate Fletcher Sharpe at 6 when he's so young and you can move him in there.
I'm putting Fletcher Sharpe on the wing.
I get you. I get you. I just think, like, right now where he's at his career, where the club's at right now, I think he's a better winger than 6, especially when you've got Dylan Brown at the club. It's obviously all relative. Is it by a mile? I don't think it's by a mile. I do think fullback by a mile, he's better at fullback than 6 and wing. I think that's his best position.
What I will say is, say he did end up on the wing, which I wouldn't love to see, but I think it's the fit for this team. As I said, just give him that license to come in and do a bit of ball playing and just sniffing around the ruck. I say it all the time, but there are just certain players who can't be wasted out there and you need to utilise them for what they do. And Fletcher Sharpe's support play is some of the best in the NRL, and that's playing in the halves. You have him as often as possible and as allows without sort of breaking structure too much, just to be in and around the ruck and sniffing around. I think that can really work.
And that's the beauty of the way that Newcastle play their footy. They're very left side dominant. If Fletcher Sharpe's on the right wing, I let him roam. I let him do his thing.
Well, I mean, it's one area where KP's a good support player, but that's not his strength. So you almost go, mate, KP, your strength is obviously basically being like a halfback. So that's where
Just on that, I bumped into Joel Kane yesterday in the office.
Joel Kane.
For some reason, we're talking about the Newcastle Knights in this season. And he threw that up. He goes, what about KP at halfback? He basically plays like one anyway.
Yuck.
He basically plays like one
Defended
anyway.
halfback?
Yeah.
Mate, how many times?
How many times are we going to do this?
And
He nearly ended his career.
No, I know, but when you think about it, we're talking about having to consistently move people. Stick Fletcher Sharpe in his best spot at the back. KP plays like a half anyway. Stick him there with Dylan Brown. Like, they haven't got a lot to work with here tonight. So what would you, as an opposition, what would you least like to see coming your way? Is it Ponga and Brown in the halves with Fletcher Sharpe at the back? Or is it this hodgepodge thing with Fletcher Sharpe on the wing and someone else as a makeshift half? Like, it's not perfect, but with what they've got.
Mate, he nearly ended his career. He was playing 6. Look, in attack, I'm with you. Like, I've always been a big believer that I do think that in good ball, you're actually going to see KP essentially running the team. I do think that. But defensively,
And I mean, mate, KP hasn't trained yet.
Yeah.
KP's not going to play trials. Like, it's hard enough coming into this season without your best player playing to shift him into the halves. And it's a shit position they're in, but...
Yeah. Anyway, it was a bit of a left of centre one, but I just thought, you can either probably tread water for another 12 months and piddle around at the bottom of the ladder or something like that. It's a little bit different. Yes, he's played in the halves before, but that for me feels a bit more, threatening than some of the other options.
Here's another one. What's a better halves pairing, Sandon Smith and Dylan Brown, or Dylan Brown and Fletcher Sharpe?
I think it's Sandon Smith.
That's what I don't understand. Like, I'm a big believer in, like, Wayne used to do this really, really well, where, like, Darius Boyd, I know he played a lot on the wing in regards to Origin and that, but his best position was fullback. And Wayne was really good at, like, putting players, like, in the easier positions. I know it's changed quite a bit, and then slowly moving them in towards it. And that's where I think, like, we'll get to the Cowboys, but Purdue, I know he didn't play as well as Fletcher Sharpe. I thought Fletcher Sharpe played good at 6 last year for most of the year. However, like, I feel like he's got so much time to slowly move into that role. I just don't know why it's being rushed. Like, unless there is some kind of contractual obligation or it's to keep certain people happy, it just doesn't make any sense to me that you couldn't say to Fletcher, and I know, okay, you lose Marju or you use Dom Young. Like, you know, they're both good players, but Fletcher Sharpe is almost, I'd say he goes close to a number one priority at the club. So if it's choosing between Dom Young and Marju and Sharpe on the wing, you're keeping Sharpe in the side. You know what I'm saying? Like, and so I just don't get this rush to go, we have to have him at 6 right now. Therefore, we're going to move Brown to 7, Smith to 9. It doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't make sense, especially when Phoenix Crossland has come out quite, openly and said, I want to be the 9. Just also Phoenix Crossland, not only does Sandon Smith and Brown, Fletcher Sharpe all get moved to their second best position, second, you think third, second, whatever. I'm a bit caught in the middle in regards to second or third. I think it's irrelevant. I think you're probably the same. It's relevant.
Yeah,
second or third.
It's not his best position.
Yeah, it's not his best position. But also then you've got Phoenix Crossland going to his second best position, which is 13. So I just don't understand it. I don't get it.